This War of Mine, one of the most interesting games you will ever come across. A truly unique survival game that offers a grim and realistic portrayal of war from the perspective of civilians trying to survive in a city under attack. Now, the game has received very positive reviews, but is now more than a decade old, so is it still worth buying? Now, unlike many other war games that focus heavily on the combat, this game puts you in the shoes of ordinary civilians, struggling to survive in the chaos. And the overall atmosphere is dark and oppressive, reflecting a harsh reality. And the world of this War of Mine is bleak and unforgiving. Resources are scarce, and danger lurks around every corner. And with a heavy focus on survival, resource management, and moral choices, you will need to scavenge for food, medical supplies, while managing your shelter and the needs of your group. And the decisions you make can have profound consequences. What truly makes the game unique is the emphasis on the moral dilemmas. You'll be forced to make tough choices, such as whether to help others at the risk of your own group's safety, or to steal from them to ensure your own survival. And these choices will add a lot of depth, but also make for a really thought-provoking experience. And not only does the game offer great gameplay, it also gives you a powerful and emotional journey that stands out from very typical war games. This focus on the civilian perspective, combined with the challenging gameplay and the moral choices, create a really compelling and immersive game that is extremely unique and memorable. Now, the main gameplay of this War of Mine is survival. The game will cater to players who enjoy survival games. This is the survival mechanics, resource management, and strategic planning. But unlike many other survival games that have a big focus on combat and exploration, this War of Mine emphasizes the emotional and psychological issues that civilians face during war, and you will need to manage a group of survivors, maintain the shelter, and make tough decisions. Now, the typical gameplay of this War of Mine is divided into two phases. You have the day and the night. During the daytime, you'll have a main focus on maintaining and improving your shelter. This involves building and upgrading it, so you construct essential facilities. This could be beds, stoves, and workbenches. You'll need to craft tools and items necessary for survival. This could be weapons, cooking meals, and medical supplies. And then also manage your resources. You'll need to distribute food, water, and medicine. Ensure that everyone in your group is fed, warm, and healthy. And then it comes to the nighttime, where you will need to send one of your survivors out to gather essential supplies. You start off by choosing a location. You could choose a safe location that has less resources, or a more dangerous area with more valuable items. And each survivor has their own unique traits, skills, and needs. For example, some of your survivors might be better at scavenging for resources, or others are better at crafting or cooking. And managing your physical and emotional well-being of your survivors is crucial. And just like most other survival games, your early game is very basic, but also in terms of what you can craft and build. In the early game, revolves around the very basics, securing enough food, maintaining shelter, and deal with minor threats. But then by the end game, your shelter must be well equipped, with massive upgrades and facilities, as the endgame will present major attacks, managing multiple survivors, and making tough calls. And the gameplay shifts away from just scavenging for resources, and instead of micromanaging all your survivors, you'll be looking more at the broader picture. But getting to the endgame is no easy task. The game is known for its difficulty. It offers a tough and often unforgiving experience, which can be very daunting for new players, but rewarding if you enjoy a challenge. This also means that the game does not hold your hand whatsoever. You will need to learn through trial and error. Figure out the best strategies that work for you to keep your survivors alive. There's also no extensive tutorial mode, so you must be prepared for a steep learning curve. Now, in terms of the graphics, this War of Mine features a really distinct, gritty, and hand-drawn art style that perfectly complements the game's dark themes. The visuals are bleak, emphasizing the harshness of the environment and the dire situation that you find yourself in. The game environment is also meticulously crafted, with every ruin, shelter, and scavenging site designed to evoke a sense of desolation and decay. And the attention to detail in the graphic really enhances the feeling of being in a war-torn city, struggling to survive. And this can also be seen in the sound and music. The sound design is absolutely superb, with the ambient noises that add to the sense of isolation and danger. The creaking of old buildings, the distant gunfire, and the howling wind, all contributing to the game's tense atmosphere. And the music is just as haunting and beautiful, and puts a big emphasis on the emotional weight of the game. And this combination of the gritty visuals, the realistic sound design, and the haunting music all adds together to create an incredibly immersive atmosphere that draws you into the world. So with all that said, let's grade the game. And this War of Mine earns a commendable 9 out of 10 for its unique and emotional impactful take on the survival genre. The game's storytelling is its strongest asset in my opinion. It presents the the harrowing realities of war from a civilian perspective, with remarkable depth and empathy. The difficult moral choices you will have to make, and then also manage your physical and emotional well-being, creates an immersive and challenging experience that few games can even dream to match. And this level of engagement, combined with the game's atmospheric art and sound design, makes for a deeply moving and memorable experience. The gameplay mechanics are another highlight, with well-integrated systems for resource management, crafting and scavenging, and these elements require careful planning. However, the high difficulty level and the necessity for trial and error can be quite daunting for new players, and the game is a powerful and educational game that will provide you a valuable perspective on the human cost of war. So who should buy the game? This War of Mine is definitely ideal for players who enjoy the deeply narrative-driven game that will challenge your intelligence and emotions. If you appreciate games that will push you to make tough decisions and think strategically about survival, this game is definitely for you. However, if you prefer games with lighter themes and more straightforward gameplay, this game may not be the best fit for you. Its high difficulty level and the need for trial and error would be quite frustrating for some players. Also, the game's dark and oppressive atmosphere might be too emotionally taxing for some if you're looking for a more relaxed gaming experience. But this War of Mine is one of those games that deserves to be in everyone's Steam library. If you're looking for more games to play, check out the video on the screen now, as I think you'll also really enjoy that. So click that video and I'll see you over there.